Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to today's jailbreak update video. As of yesterday, Apple has actually released iOS 12.1.2, which just fixes a few minor little things with the update of iOS 12.1.1. So even more bugs are squashed, even more security vulnerabilities are patched than even iOS 12.1.1. So if you guys take a look at the release notes right here, or just take a look at the software update page, you can see it addresses a few issues with eSIM connectivity on various carriers. And it's just for the iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max, and iPhone XR. It's a super small update. I'm coming from iOS 12.0, is why it's 500 some megabytes right here. But again, the software update will depend on which version you're coming from and which device you own. Anyway guys, obviously if you're intending on jailbreaking, do not update to this software. Do not update to any new software that comes out or any beta software. Always stay on the lowest version of iOS 12 that you can. This marks a weird time in history because we currently have 3 versions of iOS being signed right now. We have iOS 12.1, iOS 12.1.1, and iOS 12.1.2. Now, if you guys have been keeping up on my jailbreak updates, you'll know iOS 12.1.1 patched 5 kernel level vulnerabilities. So that being the case, if you guys are on iOS 12.1.1 or 12.1.2 as of yesterday, definitely downgrade to iOS 12.1 as it's still being signed by Apple. It's super easy to do so. So we're going to be talking about iOS 12.1.2 in this video, but some other major and substantial jailbreak news has happened over this last day. That's kind of why this video has taken so long to produce. Another major news that I want to talk about, Saurik has finally pushed official Substrate support for the iOS 11 uncovered jailbreak that works all the way up to iOS 11.4 beta 3. This essentially is going to make your jailbreak run a lot more smooth and be a lot more stable. Substrate is what is responsible for loading all of the tweaks in the background once you're jailbroken. Previously, we were using something called Substitute with a bunch of extra unnecessary code. This essentially is a dumbed down and light version of that, and it's made by the official developer of Cydia, so you know it's going to run a whole lot better. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to update to that as well. Very lastly, we have a few bugs and vulnerabilities and potential exploits and dual boot demonstrations coming up for iOS 12.1. So quite a bit is going on. Whew, that was a lot to say. Anyways, we got a lot to talk about in today's video, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, well, let's recap iOS 12.1.2. Like I said, Apple has now released this software just as of yesterday after only one beta release of this software previously. Actually, if you're running that beta firmware, you won't even see an update to this as that is the final version. But like I've been saying throughout this video and throughout every previous video before about a new software, do not update to this if you're intending on jailbreaking. Even if you're not intending on jailbreaking, I highly doubt this update is even going to interest you. It pretty much fixes bugs with eSIM activations on the iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max, and affects a few cellular connectivity issues for iPhones in Turkey. It doesn't look like too much was patched in the background. Granted, it does have all of the patches that were introduced in iOS 12.1.1. There was a total of 5 kernel level vulnerabilities that were patched. Let's go back into here, and I just wanted to recap and point out that currently 3 iOS versions are being signed. iOS 12.1.2, which was just released yesterday. As you guys can see, it has a build number of 16C101. We also have iOS 12.1.1 and of course iOS 12.1 at the very bottom. If you guys are intending on jailbreaking and if you happen to be on one of these newer firmwares, definitely downgrade as soon as possible to iOS 12.1 as Apple is still signing it and that signing window is going to be closing very soon. Now, with the release of iOS 12.1.2, Apple typically likes to have betas rolling in the background with every current version of iOS. So very soon I can expect Apple to be rolling out a new iOS 12 beta, something like iOS 12.2, to introduce new features in the upcoming months. But they have been rather conservative on build numbers this year. iOS 12.1.2 didn't hit beta stages for 5 days after iOS 12.1.1 was released. So it might be sometime next week. They might take next week off during the holidays. We'll have to wait and see, but iOS 12.2 is coming in the near future. All right, well, let's talk about new iOS 12 bugs. Now, this team right here, I've talked about them in the past, security team. They said they were going to release more bugs and more vulnerabilities, more proof of concept projects in the near future. Well, they actually did release this. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, the impact of this kernel vulnerability right here says a local user may be able to read kernel memory. And unfortunately, I just want to clarify this. This right here is not enough for a jailbreak. This really doesn't help us in the jailbreaking scene at all. I've seen a lot of people report on this bug right here, but unfortunately, this really doesn't do much for us. But I won't leave you guys high and dry. I'll give you something to be excited about. I couldn't believe this when I saw it. Apparently this guy right here, Max, is going to be presenting at this year's Offensive Con, which is not happening until February, but what he's going to be talking about sounds actually incredible. He says in this talk, he's going to cover iOS boot processes in detail and demo a dual boot implementation on a modern iPhone hardware. So hopefully we'll see a dual boot on some 64-bit device, hopefully the iPhone XS or XR. But what's interesting is he says he's going to perform a dual boot demonstration of a jailbroken iOS 12.1 device. He says that will be shown off in a demo, like I've been saying. So we might actually have a dual boot demonstration coming very soon. I have not seen a device be dual booted, especially on something like iOS 12, one of the latest versions of iOS out to date. That would just be incredible. And we'll have to wait and see if anything gets released by this developer right here. Again, the talk is not happening until February, but this is really interesting that they actually posted this, and this is what he's going to be talking about. All right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about my favorite thing in today's video. Now, this is only going to apply for users jailbroken on iOS 11. But as of yesterday as well, Jay Freeman, aka Saurik, or the creator of Cydia himself, he just pushed the official Substrate update for the iOS 11.3.1 Uncover Jailbreak. So this is going to replace Substitute or any alternative to Substrate and replace it with the official appropriate version. It's going to make Cydia much more stable and smooth to run. You'll see performance enhancements, better battery life, all in all, a better jailbreak on iOS 11.3.1. So in this video, real quickly, I just wanted to show you guys how to update to it and if there's really any gain of doing that. All right, let me go grab my other phone and I'll be right back. All right, well, here is my iPhone 10. I'm currently jailbroken running the Uncover Jailbreak. I've yet to update to the official Substrate. I'm still using Substitute. And so I went ahead and ran a Geekbench score. Now this isn't going to be telling of everything, but I really just want to see if there's any difference after we update. So if I go over to Twitter real fast, all you guys have to do to update to the official Substrate is install this source right here. That's what Saurik recommends everyone to do. So you can go ahead and just copy link, and then you can go over to Cydia right there. And once it loads, you can go down to sources in the very bottom, click edit, and click add. And if you have Flame installed, you can do batch mode. Otherwise, if you have normal mode, you basically just remove everything else in the background and click paste and add source. Now I've actually already added the source. Not sure what those errors are coming up. Looks like I have a couple changes as well, but we'll go ahead and update those as well in the background when we actually do the Substrate update. So it looks like that's the source right there that we're gonna go into and go into all packages and Cydia Substrate. So this is what the package looks like right here. It looks like the recent changes have been updated to include version 9.7, which is the one that includes support for 11.3.1. Now you really don't have to uninstall anything. Really all you gotta do is click modify and either click upgrade or click install for the very first time. Honestly, I might have installed this in the background. Oh no, it doesn't look like it at all. It says upgrade Cydia Substrate and remove Substitute. So that's exactly what you want it to do right there. I didn't know if this installed in the background, but I don't think it did. Anyway, that's how quick it was right there. We can go ahead and click restart Springboard. I just want to show you guys a couple tweets from Pwn2Own himself regarding this new update right here. So I'll go ahead and start this and go to Geekbench in the background. And while this test is going on, I'll show you exactly what Pwn said. All right, so let's push this guy back. So this is what was said about the new update. He says the new Substrate update comes with obvious stability and performance improvements and also support for the Uncover jailbreak. Now this is the first time ever that the official Cydia Substrate has been updated for any iOS 11 jailbreak, and in this case it's updated for the Uncover jailbreak. This will not be coming to the Electra jailbreak, and if you guys want to transfer over to the Uncover jailbreak, it's super easy to do so. Basically just follow my guide on installing the Uncover jailbreak. I'll link that up in the cards now. All you have to do is sideload this app. There's one option that you can check to restore the root file system or root FS. You basically run through that process and then your phone will reboot, and then you will proceed with the normal jailbreak process. If you guys want a video specifically on how to do this, let me know, but I just don't know how many users are still out there jailbroken on iOS 11 and are really involved in this scene anymore, but let me know down in the comment section if you guys would appreciate a video on that. All right, moving on. Switching to the Cydia Substrate on Uncover should pretty much fix any random freezes, random restarts, or apps hanging on launch, and it should significantly improve the battery life. We've been testing this for 2 months or so. So those are some of the obvious improvements that are going to be coming if you guys install Cydia Substrate. First, substitute. Essentially, everyone, I guess he recommends to restart after re-jailbreaking their devices, so I might go ahead and do that, but look at this. Already, we have a higher Geekbench score right there, 4172 and 10,301 versus if I go to my history and go to CPU. This is the one that I did before. I was at 4235, and I guess that one's lower. My single core is lower, but my multi-core is higher, and really the multi-core is going to be the one that really counts. So since Pwn right here recommends to restart, I'm going to go ahead and restart and re-jailbreak right here, and I'll run the Geekbench test one more time just to see if that really does anything. So basically restarting and re-jailbreaking is going to disable and remove all the patches that were made by Substitute and by Uncover initially before Cydia Substrate was released. And very lastly, there's a few extra daemons still present in the background, and essentially that's what Substrate is going to remove. It's going to be a light version of all of this that's going on. The code that's running behind all of this is going to be vastly simplified and much easier for your phone to run, and it sounds like in a future update of Uncover, Pwn is actually going to remove all this extra crap from Uncover right there. So in future update, this really shouldn't be too big of an issue, but I will go over to Uncover jailbreak. So that right there, what I just showed you guys, is one thing that the Uncover jailbreak does. As you guys can see, my certificate had expired for this version of Uncover, but I was able to very quickly just click verify, and it actually re-sideloaded this app very quickly and re-verified its certificate even though it's entirely expired. Previously on older versions of Uncover, you would actually have to delete the app and then reinstall it through Tweakbox or something like that, but in quick cases like this, when I'm in the middle of recording a video, that was super nice, just to click verify and have it reload on my phone right here. In any case, I would definitely suggest if there is an update, check for update. I don't think the official one has pushed. Uncover version 2.1 is going to be coming very soon, but right now I believe the latest version is still 2.0.2. If you guys wanted to switch to Uncover versus being on Electra, right here is the option that I was talking about, restore root FS or recover right there. Basically, when you first sideload this utility, instead of just clicking jailbreak, you're going to go to settings and you're going to toggle that guy on right there, go back to jailbreak and click that, and it's going to basically remove all the old jailbreak files. And then the next time when you come and boot up this utility, that will be deselected and you can re-jailbreak or jailbreak for the first time with Uncover, and everything should go off without a hinge. Anyway, I'm just re-enabling my jailbreak. I'll be right back. All in all, things are working very well on the Uncover jailbreak for me, and that is the way I would recommend at this point in time. If you're currently jailbroken on iOS 11.3.1, definitely switch to Uncover. Let's go back into Geekbench. Very lastly, one thing I wanted to warn you guys about, certain tweaks may be causing problems with Cydia Substrate. So if you guys go ahead and update to Cydia Substrate and you're facing constant resprings when you can't get back into the jailbroken state, definitely just jailbreak without tweaks enabled. and remove Substrate basically for the time being, and take a look at your other tweaks that you have installed. It looks like a few of them that were specifically written for Substitute are causing problems now when official Substrate has been updated. So those tweaks will need to be updated to run on the official Substrate instead of just depending on Substitute. But in any case, I will let you guys know if I find any that are causing problems for me. As you guys can see, I just updated without any problems. I only have about 10 or 15 tweaks installed on my phone right now, but most of them, I would say like 95%, aren't going to cause any issues. It just seems like a few are being picky and causing problems for some users. But I will let you guys know down below in the comments section if I run into any tweaks that are not quite updated for Cydia Substrate. Anyway, let's continue on with this video. All right, well, there we are with the final Geekbench results right there. Pretty similar results. It looks like a slightly slower single core score, but a much improved multi-core score right there. So you guys can take it as you will. As you guys can see, this is the first one we ran, and this is the original. So still somehow Substitute was getting a higher single core score, but a much lower multi-core score. Granted, these still are very minor differences. I don't know if you would actually notice a difference in your daily lives. Where you're gonna notice it is when your apps aren't loading, or when your phone won't re-enter the jailbroken state, or if your phone reboots overnight. Those problems are going to be eliminated with the Substrate update. Anyway guys, I know we talked about a ton in this video. We talked about a lot of updates for the uncovered jailbreak. We also talked about 12.1.2 being released and how not to update to that. Definitely downgrade to 12.1 if you guys are currently on a newer version. The signing window is going to be closing very soon, so definitely manually downgrade if you guys want to jailbreak in the near future. I cannot wait to jailbreak my iPhone XS Max. Let me know if you guys are stoked for an iOS 12 jailbreak. Hopefully we will have some major updates coming for that very soon. But until next time guys, this is Tony signing out. Before I go, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, and of course subscribe to stay updated on the latest jailbreaking news. Anyway guys, thank you again so much for watching. I'll catch you real soon. Peace.